Welcome to episode 483 of Fourth and Jawn. This is the free Agency Frenzy podcast. Obviously, news is breaking left and right. We're trying to keep ahead of the game, but every minute, every second, every hour, there seems to be a new move. We have a couple pieces to add to the puzzle. I think a lot of Eagle fans are trying to make sense of it. You know, the first couple of days, the Eagles. We lost more than we gained, and you had to say goodbye to some fan favorites. But overall, now we're just trying to make sense of the pieces that we've added. You can't be too high or you can't be too low. It's a wait and see thing. So just don't get ahead of yourself and don't start playing Radiohead and sitting in the closet and sulking about you have a Super Bowl to remind yourself of what Howie's work has been over the last couple years. So this is a work in progress. I'm not going to say you can't be mad about some of these moves, but just believe it's a work in progress. So I mean I'm feeling I'm not going to say I'm excited. I'm not going to say I'm pissed off. I'm just like, all right, Howie, what is next? I feel like I haven't got the move that I wanted yet. Obviously, you're thinking about Chauncey leaving, or Slay leaving. We do have young corners, but like, do we need a safety on the back end with a veteran experience? Maybe Justin Simmons, and then I'll feel okay. I mean, Tim, we got two Tims, we got three Tims in the building, but Tim Kincaid, how you feeling, man?
This is, I don't know, man. It's such a weird feeling because we just came off a Super Bowl. You go from going from a Super Bowl to I'm gonna pop some tags and I got a few ducks in my pocket, and we're bargain shopping. Like we are at the Salvation Army. We are at come get it, $2, you pay, you know what I mean? Like we are at that mode. What I would say this though is some of the moves, I'm like, okay, they're solid moves, but add subtracted a lot. So you gotta take a deep breath. We're here, and Howie we trust.
100%. So the other day when the emergency pod went off and you were at work, Kincaid, I was lucky enough that I had some free time for my lunch, so I hopped on with Gail, was able to pass some words with him. And the biggest thing that I touched on, or one of the things I touched on, was the rationalization that it's not last year. So,
right.
I feel like we're on such a high from how free agency went last year. I'm not going to beat this into the ground because I already did bring it up last pod. But I feel that the expectations of last year, because it was
right.
But like you stated, we're coming off a Super Bowl. It's so purses get a little tighter. We got to make sure we're going in for the long haul. And the one thing that I did look at today that I kind of deep dove into is the top 10 teams who are in the playoffs. They're all kind of doing the same thing we are.
Yeah.
It's the teams that are actually made a push at the end of last year that were doing some damage in the playoffs. All the guys that are making a splash, which give to Howie credit, is we still made the playoffs the year before, and we still made a splash the way we did last year. And we touched on the youth that's coming through. I was ready for I shot it out. We have a Fourth and Jawn tailgate podcast. I shot a quick message out there and how we were trust. I was like, what's going on? We haven't made any moves. Legitimately, Kincaid, 4 minutes later, the Adoree Jackson thing popped off. Like it was seconds. And
right.
I in Howie we trust. I mean, you're waiting for it the shoe to drop.
I mean, some people don't want to hear. Some people don't want to hear that. And I know it's okay. It's if you don't want to hear it. I mean, there's reality. I mean, this is what it is. It's reality. You can't be mad.
I mean, you can't be mad. I mean, unless you want to be, shout out to my wife. Sorry, Niner fans. You want to be like the 49ers?
Yard sale.
They've lost 9 starters on both sides of the ball. We still have our core guys. And I know the CJGJ trade was shocking to everybody and surprised everybody. Like, oops, upside your head type of surprise. But the young movement, and when I talk about how we trust, we also got to say, in Vic Fangio we trust. Because if you look at the defense side of the ball, look how I told Gail this. I said, "Yo, man, I think Howie's being prejudiced, bro. I think he's being prejudiced with age, man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't giving no love to the old guys. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how you build teams, and the formula that he's cooking up with right now. I'm loving the 20 picks for the next 2 years. 20 draft picks, bro. That's unheard of.
The next average is 11. The
And
next average is 11 draft picks.
And then we also have the comp picks. We have the right now we're currently, if I get the math is right, we have a 3rd round from Milton Williams. We have a 4th round from Josh Sweat. And if you do the math, they were also drafted in the 3rd round. Josh Sweat was drafted in the 4th round. We got a 4th round back. Isaiah Rodgers, who goes to the Vikings, we got a 6th round pick back. We haven't gained anything from Oren Burks or Kenny Gainwell or Darius Slay. So I mean, right now, bringing in our AJ Dillon, Josh Uche, Harrison Bryant, and Dory Jackson they haven't qualified for they haven't countered the comp picks that we've received so far. So it's a 3rd, a 4th, and a 6th. So obviously you got to be excited about those moves. Now, if you guys, if you do follow the pod, you've noticed I've asked for one of the running backs we got yesterday. I've been talking about AJ Dillon for a long time. Signed AJ Dillon, 1 year deal. 1 year deal. He was dealing with a neck injury. Missed the whole 2024 season. Age 26. The reason why I wanted AJ Dillon a while ago is probably due to the fact that that I thought it would be the perfect piece to a running back by committee. Obviously, we have a guy named Saquon Barkley, so it's not like Saquon can do a lot of things. But after a 2,000-yard season, a lot of tread on his tires. We got the Quadzilla and we have Saquads in the building, I think. But just from a personal perspective, he's from my hometown, so I've seen AJ Dillon grow up from a kid to a monster. His high school career, whether it be not playing for the normal route to you play for the local team, he went off and played elsewhere. Like he had a bigger picture than in the fact that he did his own thing and made it to the NFL is phenomenal. He comes from a great family. His mom, school teacher in the system. So it's kind of like it's like, wow, AJ Dillon's here. I'm excited for him and see what he brings to the table. But yeah, I mean, just talk about that running back room. We lost Gainwell to the Steelers. How you guys feeling about the running back room right now?
I'm trying to put my finger on this. Like, is this Rashad Penny all over again? That's where my mind's going out with this one, because he missed the entire year with a neck stinger. He was approved to play. I mean, obviously the Eagles signed him. I guess that took place last Tuesday. It's interesting, bro. You got 2 big ass dudes with big quads on the squad. Like, I feel like we got the real Sonic and Knuckles in our running back room.
You're not lying.
And then this goes to show is where do you see Shipley? Where, you know what I mean? He is very explosive. I like Shipley a lot. He contributes on special teams, but with AJ Dillon, bro, AJ Dillon, man, like running between the tackles, power. We literally have that lightning and thunder. Like this is like
it's thunder and thunder though.
It's Thunder and
Yeah,
Thunder.
yeah, it is Thunder and Thunder, huh? Right? They got big quads, bro.
Can you imagine the tush push this year? The tush push
son,
this
like,
year. There's no tight end
oh,
back there. It's running back. Go.
could you imagine? Could you imagine the weight room? Like they Jalen jumping off the Jalen Hurts the truck with a Jalen Hurts love T-shirt, and they're like, "Hey, y'all ready to squat?" And them two are like, "Yeah."
Do some box squats. Yeah, we got you. Let's do some box squats. We're good.
My thing is
just like
trying to tackle those dudes. I mean, it's Saquon is enough, but the reasoning of wanting to bring AJ a while ago and even to now to speak to our offensive line, we're talking about our offensive line with him. That's like we talk about Saquon Barkley. He averaged 2 yards before contact last season with this offensive line. Just imagine 2 yards before contact with AJ Dillon as well. That's like fall forward yards. Short yardage game.
I'm not a big person. I'm not a big person that likes to look at yards per carry with certain backs because you got to look at the situation of the running back. You know what I'm saying? Like you got short yardage running back. You got backs where like Saquon, backs like Shipley. They have different roles on this team. So I'm trying to figure out like how is this going to work? They still got Lou Nichols. They still got other bulls like that. I'm just trying to figure out how this is going to work. I love it though. I love it.
Shipley's hits the passing down back.
That's where I kind of jumped in on that.
But
because
AJ,
my
AJ,
thought,
I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you. And then I'm just going to get him in my 2 cents is AJ Dillon's coming off injury. And he could or could not be the back that he used to be. I think that he is. I think he's going to come back 100% healthy and have a monster year. We got Shipley in day 3. I don't think we expected him to come off the bench and be the impact starter. So the biggest thing with him is if we've noticed, every single Nakobe Dean first year didn't get a whole lot of reps. Second year, a few more. 3 year, he popped off. I think that this is a 1 year. We need somebody that we can shift in when Saquon needs a breather. He breaks a 60-yarder, needs a breather on first and second down. AQ gets in the weight room, builds to where they expect him to be. Year 3, he comes out, but he's still learning from a veteran leadership. He's still learning from these guys. I don't see Dillon long term. I see him as a viable back to pop in when Saquon needs a breather. And he's not going to break 60.
Oh heck no, that's not.
But he's gonna fill that role. The Quadzilla. It's a 1A 1C. Let me say that 1A 1C. Where
I get you. So my question to both of you guys: do you see him as the backup running back, or is he just a special downs type of running back?
He's like you talk about the way that the Eagles have dominated in the fourth quarter. You're just talking about another running back that you don't want to see in cold weather. You don't want to be tackling him after you've been dealing with Saquon. It's a lot of, it's the funny thing how the NFL evolves in a way where the Eagles are zigging when the league is zagging. And now we have a power run game where like you got to deal with this in the fourth quarter. And then you got a power wide receiver, power forward outside with AJ Brown and finesse with the technician Devontae Smith, and you can do a lot of things. And I just think this is now like your short yardage game is like is on a 12, not a 10. It's on a 12.
And I completely agree with that. But I see with Covey not getting picked back up, I think Shipley will have more of a return game prospect. So if he's returning, maybe not punts,
kicks, not punts,
but kicks like he did, because he filled in for him and he was back there on the kick. I think he's going to have more of a special teams role with the mindset of he's going to step into that RB2 after this season.
Okay. Gail?
We got to move?
No. I wanted to see your face because he talked about your boy. Like,
not me, bro. Like my thing with Britton Covey, they would had to pay him $3.3 million, and I am not paying $3.3 million for Covey. So there's still potential of him coming back.
Yeah, and you're not going to put a tender on that because ain't nobody going to trade for him. Let's be honest. Ain't nobody
Yeah,
gonna
I
try to
mean,
sign him for that.
that's the
So
beauty of like getting guys that have a role. Like
yeah,
I've said long and hard enough that Cooper DeJean returning punts, he's too valuable to this
yeah,
defense for him to be out
no,
there.
Get him out of
no.
there.
I
And
do like this signing because of one thing though, and I just want to
tell me,
see this happen. I want to see that Jordan Howard like like formation, I formation, give him the ball and just go hammer. Like remember what we did against the Lions a couple years ago? We took their souls, like we just
yeah,
ran down on them. Oh man, I love that's the type of football I like because I was that guy. You know what
with
I'm
these two
saying? When I
power
played high
backs,
school.
how funny would it be to see a wing team
Oh,
out of
oh,
nowhere with
pistol. Look at the
Jalen and the
pistol.
pistol? Oh, these
They go,
guys just
hey,
running
pistol
downfield at
squad,
you.
let's go on three.
Yeah, just imagine they signed Kyle Juszczyk and they're like, hey, let's add another full. I mean, speaking of fullbacks or linebackers or whatever you want to say his name is, but Van Sumeren was added to the mix as well. I
Love it.
think that is not a sexy signing to many, but if you go back and watch those Giants games, the Giant game, Van Sumeren opened up some of those holes. He's like, jumping up, like excited about opening up some of these holes. You got a potential backup linebacker and a fullback for a 1-year deal, low price, and
Utility player.
it's not sexy.
It's a utility player that can fill in. And the biggest thing with him is I also heard that the number change is happening. So he's going to have
Told you.
a real number.
He's a fullback, bro. He's not. I don't think he's a linebacker anymore. I think he's gonna be a line. I think he's gonna be a fullback. He played. I mean, in high school, he was full. Oh, he was a tight end in high school, wasn't he? 6'2", 231 pounds. Like this is somebody that can play the fullback position. So and catch. So yo, kudos to him, man. You know what I'm saying? If there's a way there, if there's a will, there's a way to get on the field, and that's what you got to get on the field, man.
I
You know what I
like
mean?
I like his excitement. I love the way he
Yeah,
plays. He gets up
I do
excited.
too.
He's happy to play the game of football. You see him, you know what I mean? He jumps off the ground. It's not like I'm getting
Right,
up. It's
and he's
you see,
fast.
he surprised me with that Giants
Yeah,
game.
he's
Like I
fast.
knew who he was, but I didn't say it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. It's not, I'm not like this is the type of move that when your homie from another opposite team is like, who's
Who?
Van Sumeren? But
Who?
Who?
diehard Eagle fans who follow the team and not
Right.
on some BS, you realize the small intricate roles on the squad and why they were successful last year because everyone had a role and they played their part. The Cubbies and the Sumerins and the Ornbergs. We're talking about like Ornbergs coming up big and making uh, a huge play. First playoff game. I mean, against the Packers. I mean, like every single guy made significant play. Really.
Like a guy like Sidney Brown who might have worked his way into an opportunity because of how he played in a special teams role. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like from all reports I'm hearing, he might get a shot. He might get a shot at safety. I mean, from everything I'm reading, nothing's been guaranteed or said. But how do you feel about that, guys? Like if he was to step in there,
I mean, he's following. They're fly, the Eagles are stealing from my playbook. Because obviously, I said special teams role for Sidney Brown.
Yeah.
Let him marinate. Now we're here. I'm not again in the window. I'm not worried about players' development. Like right, we're still in this window. Like
Hmm.
if Justin Simmons is the guy that you want, and he makes perfect sense. He said it on a podcast. He said he wants to be a perfect fit. He did mention Christian Parker that he was coached by for 4 years. They know exactly. Don't at this point in time, Howie do not play around. I know there's a contract probably out there. Sign it, Justin Simmons.
But
Sign it.
we just need Sidney to stay healthy. That's the thing. Need him to stay healthy, and he has the playing experience. We've seen him do some amazing things on the defensive side of the ball, not just special teams. I remember when I think it was the Giants game where he picked it off and went 90 something yards, took it back to the crib. But we need to get a little bit more. He needs to get a little bit more. I don't know, maybe not even experience, but the feel of the game. You know what I mean? Like, I think he needs to hit the books a little bit, play recognition, things like that. Look at the quarterback's eyes, things like that. He needs to do those little things. That makes you a good quarterback on that side of the ball.
Don't react
especially
off
at the safety.
Not always instinct. Not always instinct.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what you're doing. React out of, I watched this on film. You know,
because there's some
instincts
right,
there always. You're an NFL player. It's there.
Right. Because there's sometimes I see him, he's out of the play, or he takes himself out of the play. He's out of position. So like that's the thing that we need Sydney.
Yeah,
because he has that Palo in him. I don't know if it's the hair. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Bob from the Colts.
Bob Sanders.
Ooh, Bob Sanders. I like that. Yeah, I like that.
It's just a matter of like, you know, obviously they threw him in the deep end his first year, and like I said in the last pod, like when you have Sidney Brown up against CD Lamb in the slot, and I'm like, what the hell are you all doing with? And again, you were talking about two defensive coordinators that you know that he's learning under, and it was a rough scene. So I mean, obviously, I just want him to he marinated in learning from Fangio for the last year or so. This is where you hope some of the stuff that he taught you sticks.
That's it. Because now hear me out. I'm not comparing. So give me a second. But he puts his body on the line like Dawkins. Like he goes in every hit 110%. The mental aspect is what to yours point is because I don't think that guy will go against anybody. I think Sidney Brown, from watching him on special teams, he's a missile. Like he's coming down with authority, and he's going to pop the first different colored jersey he sees with the football, and that's what you want in a safety who's going to be flying around the field. But the mental aspect has to be key.
Now, Jesus says, "Sup, y'all? Do you think the Eagles get Justin Simmons?"
With the moves they're making right now, I mean, I don't know. At this point, Adoree Jackson is going to be the oldest player on our defense at 29 years old once we sign him. So I don't know which. I'm having the hardest time trying to wrap my head around. I understand youth, and I'm on board and I support it, but I'm having the hardest time whether it's going to be draft. We're waiting a piece to fall or a piece to become available or the right number. I'm having a rough time. How about you guys? You guys locked in on something or?
There is. I will say this. There is a contract out there, and if Justin Simmons wants to be an Eagle, he would be an Eagle. There is a scenario where I can see in my head where you have camp competition and you can make some adjustments. You could probably put some people in spots we haven't seen them. You know, and then I'm saying basically like they might try Coop at safety. You don't know. We don't know that. There might be some things, nice moving pieces here. Now Ringo, I don't know if Ringo's a safety.
Yeah. I don't think Coop. You ain't moving Coop to safety after.
No, I'm just saying that hypothetically, we're just let's play with the pieces that we have right now. This is young.
There could be some movement going on.
Yeah, there could be some movement. There could be some movement. You're also going through the draft too. So I'm just saying you can play with the pieces. We have the draft. You can draft a safety. I just don't think they're drafting a safety in the first round. I know everybody wants Starks from Georgia. I'm one of them.
Ari too.
Safety from Mississippi, Carolina. Right? Mississippi.
From South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
I know it was a Maroon team. We got a lot of fifth-round picks. I'd be okay moving up in the second round to go grab him. That's the bonus. And I was saying this on the last pod is AJ Brown draft day deal. Cooper DeJean moved up because we had these additional picks. That's why he's on our team.
Right.
There's a lot. We have a lot of cash in the drawer, and then we can spend it whenever we see fit. But to this point, Howie has stuck. So it felt like at certain points at his first regime before the visor came through and tore everything up, he was bouncing. His game plan wasn't always direct. It felt like once he came out from behind the depths when Chip Kelly left, I felt like he had a blueprint and that's what he was following. And I feel like that blueprint to this point is standing true. And that's where when all this Myles Garrett and Max Crosby and all this, that was against the blueprint. Now, granted, I would love to have the player, don't get me wrong, but it felt like it might have deviated from the blueprint. I feel like he's staying on his path.
I don't know. I feel like he likes pepperoni on his pizza now. He likes sausage on his pizza now. He's doing things differently. He woke up and he said, I feel like a dangerous man. He went back-to-back corners. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's sneakers. I don't know something has changed Howie. I don't know if it's a sneaker game or he does his hair different. I don't know.
Hey, but people are saying, the beer to the head.
Yeah. I think
that's why every post that I put on social, someone's in the comments like, I think that I want to know who hit him in the head with that beer can. But shout out to Bob from Down Under on his new YouTube account. It says all these signings are just depth to take the panic out of drafting for need in the draft, BPA. And I again, this is like right now you're bringing in depth pieces that make sense and very cost effective. Just because we mentioned, Sports King said the corner Jackson, who we just signed, is a good punt returner. And then Ben also says, serious question, Quinyon is more talented than Ringo, but Ringo's natural position is the right side. Quinyon should move. Should be the one to move side. And that's fine with me. I mean, when you bring in Adoree Jackson for 1 year, 2.5 mil, you got to be like, this is a signing where come in here and compete. He's 29 years old. That's almost as old as Evan. When any player gets that old. But for that 2.5 mil for 1 year to compete with Ringo, you would have loved to bring back Isaiah Rodgers, but he priced himself out for the Eagles' liking. But here we are.
So one question I have.
I heard.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, no, I mean, I hope you guys can fill me in. It's because I'm drawing a blank. I know who he is. I know where we got him from. I forget his play. And a lot of people are throwing it up in the please remind me on Lewis son.
Lewis Seen. He's from we got him off the Vikings practice squad.
Okay.
He played at Georgia with the rest of the Bulldogs. Safety, hard-hitting safety, matter of fact, by the way.
Injury though. Big injury.
He's torn his ACL, right, Gail?
Okay. I think
shoulder.
No, it was definitely a lower leg injury.
I was drawing a complete blank. I remember getting him, and I remember the name, but I couldn't pieces together. So I see him doing an interview. I see him in the interview in the locker room, happy to join the Eagles. But I'm going to go do homework afterwards.
He had a compound fracture of his lower leg during a punt coverage play in a game. First, the Saints in London. It required 2 surgeries at the end of the season. And like some of the players are saying that he didn't come back the right way. Like I mean, some of those injuries take a while for you to come back and rebound from. So, it is what it is. Sports King says Quinyon, Ringo, and Starks is the triple towers.
I love it, man. Starks, bro. That kid is athletic, and that's the type of safety that you want. You want an athletic safety. You know what I mean? Like you can get that safety that can just be a ball hawk. Like we had him. We had him in CJGJ.
But do me if I'm not questioning your homework at all, Kincaid, but do me a favor. Watch the kid from South Carolina. I feel like you can get him later. I feel like he's just raw talent.
Yeah.
So where you'd have to move up for Starks, and Gail, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we have to move too much for.
But then I just come back to my senses. drafting a safety would totally go against what the Eagles do in the first round. They would probably
we're
want to
not doing it
wait
in the first one.
in the second round, but I think that's where I think edge is definitely edge DT is where
This
we
is the
want to
best.
live in.
Yeah, this is the best draft to do that. I mean, man, like and then you got to check out these pro days too. These kids are making money on these pro days. So Georgia, I think was it Georgia's today? I think Georgia's was today. So let's see, man.
I was watching Twitter.
We got people in the comments. Shout out to Dalton, 302 Birds. He says, love Sid. Hope he
Oh,
balls
what up,
this
Dalton?
year. Judy says, Sydney plays too out of control. Eric says, Sydney got to stay healthy. Mercer says, Sydney needs fundamental work. He flies around too much, missing tackles. And that's the thing. It's like you got to control. It's got to be controlled chaos. Like that. You know what I mean? Like you got to know when to throw that all Dukin. You can't just be throwing. You gotta time those hits. But
you got flame.
Big Perk says thoughts on Jay Simmons talking about the birds on the podcast.
He knows he has a spot here, bro. He just
Seems
he
like
knows
he's
what's
just
up.
thinking
You know
through.
what I am shocked about though? You know what I am shocked about is the Justin Reed supposedly was going to sign here or was in competition, but he ended up going to the Saints. That one, I was kind of like, okay, well, if he took that, he signed it. Why did we give up CJGJ? You know what I mean? Like that one was kind of like, oh, what? All right, okay. Maybe they swing and missed. Is that one of those moves? You swing and miss. At least I tried type of moves.
Mm-hmm. Man, the fans are cooking.
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. Kincaid, like.
Was Arizona? Okay.
Yeah, 843.
Oh yeah. Murray.
That was Arizona when Sydney took it back 90 yards for pick six. How soon people forget?
Yeah, man, that was a dope play.
When you keep playing so long into the year, there's certain pieces that you forget along the way.
But for the people in the chat, I just want to let you know that I have deleted the bot. I have blocked that user. And I'm just going through comments. So I appreciate you. Chase says, I remember that first opening training camp for Sidney Brown in his rookie year, and he flashed a few times. I thought he'd definitely be a player to look out for. Yeah.
No doubt.
Now, PC's asking, give me Simmons and Becton. Becton would be, speaking of guards, we did bring in Kenyon Green. Now, if you look at his deal, he's got 1 year left on his rookie deal for 1.3. I think obviously he's a reclamation project. When you go out to the store and you're thrifting or something, you find some piece of furniture at a store, like I could fix this. This is Stoutland's thrift project here, and Howie's just like, it's very cheap for a guard because we all know what Becton's going to get on the street right now, and I think that's where I'm not saying he's going to replace Mekhi Becton, but I think he's in the works to be a project. And let's not forget we also have Tyler Steen.
Yeah. What I took from his press conference was another Becton situation to be in a new place and a fresh new start. He had a 30-day. He had one of the 30-day visits with the Eagles, so he's been in the facility. He liked the franchise. He liked everything that was here. Looked up to Lane Johnson. I know Lane is Lane's a right tackle, but he looked up to him, and it just seemed like he knows the sense of urgency that this could be it for his career. So he is willing to do everything he can to take, the proper steps of being a pro. At 23 years old, you can fix this. I mean, this is Jeff Saturday we talk about here, bro. everybody that's left this franchise has gotten paid. Even Andre Dillard. Andre Dillard. My man went to go cry in the car. Andre Dillard got paid. So it seemed to me he just had that sense of urgency. He's grateful for this fresh start. So and then all you could do is root for the young bull. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I agree 110%. Like I feel that he realizes the situation he's in, even at a young age. You know, because like you said, he's only 23. He's still a young guy. So, but at this point of where he's at, he lucked himself into a situation where you have in my opinion, the best offensive line coach that the Eagles have ever had, if not in the league. He's just above and beyond where you can take what you see in somebody and amplify it to its max. And if he came and visited with the Eagles, one of his 30 visits, and he came in and they saw something in him where they go, we can definitely, because he was still a first round pick. You know what I mean? It's not always the player, it could just be the situation. Not every situation works for everybody, and if you go into the right situation, you turn into a completely different player. So I'm excited to see. I still like Steen. Steen's a monster. He's earned his reps here. I still would love to sign Becton. I hope that somehow it works out, but we all kind of see the direction it's going, unfortunately, with the way everybody's getting paid and where we are financially. So it's a lot of curiosity of how everything's going to play out.
Now, I just want to let you know, Adoree Jackson also at 2017 pre-draft visit, who visited the NovaCare complex. So this is in line. Go look at the list, see what players are out there, see who are free agents, and the Eagles will come knocking. You know,
you always got that old thing you got to go back to.
Gotta be, bro. You just follow. It's out there. If you want to do the research.
Knock. Hey, how you doing?
People were like,
how you doing?
Why are the Eagles making these moves? Go back and just look at they really do give you the blueprint.
Look at the paper trail.
They leave a blueprint out there. Now, John, shout out to John. He said, I would really love it if Howie really invested in the defensive line in the draft. I'd really love someone like Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. I was calling him like he had a motor that just did not quit. Like he was kind of he just was like you trying to throw someone down on the ground and just like a zombie. Just he was still going. But I felt like if you got him in conditioned shape, I think you would have a nice piece to work with.
I like a Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson out of Arkansas. I'm a fan of his play personally.
His he had a ridiculous jump, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to guess what it is, but I know it was I want to say 40 something. Like it was next level. But I liked him out of Arkansas. I watched him a little bit last year. It's a deep draft for certain positions. If you are in the world for a D line, if you are in the world for a tight end, this is the draft that you are salivating a little bit over because this hits
running backs too.
You're not looking at your Saquon 2 overall type, but there is a lot of 2nd through 5th round that are going to be viable starters for a lot of years to come out of this draft. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Now, you wanna guess when the last time the Eagles drafted a safety high?
Brian Dawkins.
Ooh.
Remember the safety out of UCF.
No.
We drafted Matt Ware in the 3rd round.
Did we get somebody? Yeah, out of Temple.
Remember J.R. Reed in the 4th round. We drafted Sean Considine in the 4th round. We drafted CJ Gaddis 5th round. Safety Quentin Demps 2008 in the 4th round.
He worked out.
I didn't mind Quentin. I like Quentin.
This is what I'm talking about. 2010, Nate Allen, South Florida.
Who?
I can only think. Yeah.
Nate
Nate Allen
had a career in the Raiders.
No, I don't want to hear about him. No. Oh my God, I couldn't stand him.
That was
him and Kerry Williams. Oh,
that was the second round, pick 5, 37th overall, and then in 2011, the Eagles drafted Jaquan Jarrett out of Temple.
That's what I thought. Yeah, Temple guy.
54th overall, pick 22. Safety for Temple.
What was Bull's name from Kansas? Everybody was so hyped up on him. He was from Kansas. He was a safety. Corey Shepard.
Corey Shepard. He was a cornerback.
Jacoby, but they moved him to safety though.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly did. Yeah.
Corey Shepard.
Yeah.
2013, the Eagles drafted Earl Wolf out of North Carolina State in the 5th round.
Wolf. Oh God.
2014, the Eagles drafted Jalen Watkins from Florida in the 4th round. Let's see. 2016, the Eagles drafted Blake Countess, safety out of Auburn. Safety Kayvon Wallace, the 2020 draft. We drafted him.
He disappointed me, bro.
Pick 21, bro. Overall 127. Safety out of Clemson. Also roommate of Brian Dawson. Jacoby Stevens out of LSU, safety, 6th round pick. I'm almost there, guys. Sidney Brown, 3rd round, overall 66th, 3rd round.
Jalen Mills.
So I just gave you the dissertation.
Jalen Mills a safety, or was he drafted as a corner?
Jalen Mills played both. He played safety 1 year and then moved to corner.
Yeah, no, I support that. 1 million. Did he get drafted when he came out? Was he?
Yeah, he got drafted. He was like a 6th, 7th round pick, somewhere around there. He got in trouble at LSU. He made a career. I mean, he had amnesia. That's what I liked about him.
Green Goblin. Yeah,
yeah.
Couldn't stop a double move to save his life, but
oh my goodness. Woo.
Todd says a player nobody's really talking about too that got quality minutes. Thomas Booker.
Thomas Booker is nice.
I think he earned himself a nice little role.
He did.
You know, that's a guy that if you ask about Thomas Booker being on the Super Bowl roster, that'll be a trivia question. Like, no one will, you know.
The dude with curly hair.
Casuals will be like, who's Thomas Booker? But you know. Perk says thoughts on Imawari measurables may be more of a chess piece in the defense versus start. I think he's explosive. I think he's pretty. I mean, he's a physical freak at this point.
6'3". He's 6'3", playing safety. Like he's a monster.
That's Cam Chancellor, bro.
And I think he has that ability in a couple of years. Yeah. Like he's raw. Like there's certain. Like we touched on Sidney Brown earlier, there's certain mental pieces that you can see that he could develop. That when you look at the tape from where all that good stuff, but there's just guys you can see the guys that are just built different. You just see him and you're just like, yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
Hey Tim, this is your boy Brian Pumper. If you
draft that's your boy.
This is an inside joke with me and Tim.
Yo, son. Yo, that hit me upside my head.
If we draft in the safety, he has to have nickel capabilities.
And you remember they tried to do that to Sidney Brown. They put him in the slot corner position, and yeah, it didn't work out too well. He did have one nice play against Mike Evans, though.
I'm gonna name off some of the safeties that are actually out there as we speak. We have just in case I don't know if someone got signed. We have Julian Blackman, Justin Simmons, Quandre Diggs, Jordan Poyer, former Eagle. If y'all don't remember,
yeah, we drafted him too.
We did.
Yeah, real ones now.
My kid has an autograph with him before he was Jordan Poyer. was one of those who?
Nice cat, man.
Who,
Nice
who am
dude.
I going to get a autograph
They,
with? And I
they,
was like, let him sign
Hey,
your
we
ball.
can bring back Marcus. We're gonna bring back Marcus Epps.
yeah. So we going down the list: Jordan Whitehead, Juan Thornhill, Marcus Williams, Jordan Fuller, John Johnson, Von Bell, Chuck Clark, Marcus May, Marcus Epps, Rodney McLeod. I thought he retired. DeMonte Casey, Tony Jefferson, Jalen Mills, Daryl Worley, Nick Scott, Mike Edwards, Rayshawn Jenkins, Ryan Neal, Deshaun Gibson, Sam Franklin, Kayvon Wallace, Ronnie Harrison, Elijah Riley, and Adrian Colbert. Anyone do it for you?
Simmons.
I like Justin Blackman.
Ron's just a nasty list.
Bro, that Brian
drops off
Pumper.
dramatically.
Shout out to Elena. She's on her Fresno State linebacker Nomara. I checked him out last night. Linebacker. Speaking of tight ends, WG36 Goddard gonna go to one of those rookie QBs if we move him. It's right. Currently, he's our starting tight end. The guy we picked up, while I forget, Harrison Bryant, tight end, age 26, 1 year deal worth up to $2 million. He's played tight end 2 and tight end 3 on his last team. So just think about where he's at. This is our new Jack Stoll for right now. And I know someone mentioned in the chat, what about tight ends? So this is a tight end heavy draft. This is where the Eagles get that tight end. And if they don't,
we're not getting Tyler Warren for all your Penn State people. Thank you. I would love to get him, but he's going top 10. He's going top 10.
15.
Tell him so I don't have to.
He's going top 10, dude.
In
my opinion, he's gone. Yeah, it's not happening. I love it. The playoff system put him into a position that he's going to be a very wealthy man on the first night of the draft.
Sportskin asked the $1 million question: are the Eagles trading Dallas Goedert? The rumor is that they're shopping him for a fourth. So I really feel like if they get something like that, they'll make a move. Unfortunately,
yeah.
But I feel like that's for me, that even though we've been talking about it for a year now, it's literally a graphic I was gonna share. It was a question that we asked during the offseason: will this be the last year for Dallas Goedert? And here we are. But I feel like, me personally, even though we spoke about it, I feel like that's the move that breaks the camel's back, in terms of, like, that's a lot of pieces out the door, dude.
That's huge. Now, Kate, I had a question for you. I'd asked Gail when I spoke to him the other day. I want to get your feedback. We're a very young team. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying this individual, but somebody like a Harrison Smith, at his age, to bring in the veteran leadership on a 1-year deal, is that the type of guy that you think we still need to attack for, or do you think we go for the best available and continue with our youth regime? Because I feel like we need veterans.
If Justin Simmons speaks the language, the book of Fangio, turn to the damn, like, he is the preacher. He knows the book.
But do you think he's going to want a lot of years? That's the only thing I think the holdup is, right? Because he's still in an age where he could. No, Justin Simmons, you don't think he's looking for
32?
He wants more money. That's all. I mean, last year he took 1 year, $8 million. And when Howie sees a value and he sees that cash, because this is the thing, is cap and then there's cash. And the reason why they're doing what they're doing is because they need more cash. So I know a lot of people are like, oh man, they got like $21 million in that. No. It's cash, cap, 2 different entities. You know what I'm saying? So, you see, when you see what Howie sees in the value, if he sees a $3-4 million for a year for a veteran like that for experience, and can come in and already knows the Vic Fangio defense because his play in Denver. I mean, I would, because you like you said, and both you guys said, you need veteran leadership still. I mean, yeah, we got some young bulls, and I hate to say it, you're probably going to have to extend Blankenship because he's way underpaid. He had an awesome year. You know what I mean?
He's on the leadership council.
Yeah, so you're going to have to extend Blankenship. You're going to have to
26.
Hey, Blankenship. You're going to have to pick up 26 years old. You're going to have to. You're the guy. You're the man. You're the most. I think because he's probably he's the most experienced DB that we have in that secondary. So you're probably going to end up paying him. I mean, I know he just got an extension, but you might want to add a zero here or there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely would. I would kick the tires on Justin Simmons or I like Blackman when he played for Indiana Colts. And yes, the Indiana Colts, the Colts weren't that great, but their corners weren't that great either. He played out of position because he had to cover up for the corners.
Sports King says, "Why not trust Reed Blankenship to lead the secondary? He's been here long." My thing is, we're talking about Justin Simmons and Reed Blankenship together on the back end.
Yeah,
you know.
And this is the thing, though. We're going to miss the communication. That's the only thing that concerns me because the communication from last year's team from that secondary was phenomenal. That's what I hope we don't lose the focus to the sign of all. And I'm thinking like that because of 2023, 24. What happened when players are doing their own thing and trying to be a hero and trying to make a play, and players weren't listening to this coach because they brought in a different DC. Like, you know what I mean? And I know my mind is set here, but it's still the back of your mind. Like, damn, man, I don't want to give up long plays. I don't want to give up. You know what I mean? That's still there.
Yeah, completely agree.
I guess as an Eagle fan, we're kind of scoring with that.
Always.
Now, Sports King says we don't need old players. It doesn't pan out. My thing is Simmons is not. It's not. I mean, he's 32. We just had a corner that was 34. That panned out pretty well. But I'm saying Simmons knows what they want in the defense. Like at this point in time, you pull somebody off the street that has familiarity with. I mean, they wanted him last year, so I mean, he obviously got more money elsewhere. So again, if it's about the money, and you got money already, do you want a Super Bowl or not?
And that's probably what my question comes down to is, to his point, we don't want old players. You're right. We don't want players way past their prime. But do you want an older player who understands the situation and isn't going to make young mistakes and be able to teach the other young guys? Or do you want to bring in another young guy that's going to make the same mistakes and they all have to learn together? I'd rather one individual be able to stand up in the room and say, this is what we need to do, rotate, slide, everything like that to cover and make sure these guys are growing for years to come because we have our core.
I mean, I think a lot of people are also scoring from the Kevin Byard. I mean, he did not play great here. So older player came in, we thought he was going to be, that chink link type of piece, and he was just going to be thrown in there, and then it just kind of like blew up.
Well, let's talk about the two defensive coordinators that were here.
Yeah.
That's not like having rookies playing that situation, let alone veterans. Like that's the word that we got back from players that were in that locker room who said
right.
Everyone was confused.
But you know what's great about this whole situation?
We're talking about veterans that were in that locker room.
You saying that though, remember this. When we had Doug here, and I love Doug, right? We all love Doug. Doug ain't nothing like your first championship, right? But there was one thing about Doug. Doug could not develop young players. His coaching staff could not do it. I don't know what was going on with everything, but that coaching staff could not do it. And then ever since they changed the new regime, and that's one thing you got to give credit to Nick Sirianni. His coaching staff have developed these young ass players. They have developed and they have became stars. That's the reason why we're in the position that we are. We did not blitz in the Super Bowl, and we relied on young players.
The situation was so bad that I was told that if said player was asked to come back to this team, they said hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. But then when Fangio was here, but they said nah. The situation was that bad. So the fact that we have the guy that we originally wanted here. This is where we're at. So I feel like if you have a guy that speaks the language, go ahead, bring in another leader, and who knows the defense. And then that's all I'm asking for is Simmons would be nice. I know. Shout out to Evan Hollywood Hearn. He said he wanted Simmons, right? Is that what he said in our chat, in our little group chat recently?
I don't know.
He did. That was the tailgate group chat. He did. He said bring in Simmons. Kincaid. I'm not joking. It went. I had a list of all the players that we brought in, and it wasn't the shiniest of the list. And I posted it, and I said, "In Howie we trust." Evan said, "Bring in Simmons," and then Gail. What? 4 minutes? 5 minutes? Dory Jackson news post. It popped. I was like, okay. Do you think Adoree Jackson is that guy? Do you think he's the flashiest?
It doesn't move the needle for me.
It's just competition at this point. It's just low.
He's making the team though.
Low tier competition though.
He's making the team though,
and it's fine.
I mean, you look at.
He's 29 though. He's also 29, and people are, I
don't know.
Bro, he was.
Him, I thought he was older. I'm not gonna lie.
He's been in the league for a long time. He's been in the league for a long time. Yeah. Because he got drafted by Tennessee. He got drafted by Tennessee, right? And I remember when he came out of USC, bro, they were like talking about he was like the next Deshaun Jackson, how fast he was. He played quarterback. I mean, he played cornerback. He played wide receiver at times, and he did kick returns. He was nice. And then he went to Tennessee, and things were kind of different. And then he went to the Giants, and he dissed us, and still went to the Giants.
Didn't even come for our interview. I remember that.
Yeah, didn't even. Yeah, man.
He was scheduled with us and the Giants. Went to the Giants. Didn't talk to us.
Well, the Giants gave him the bag, so I
gave him a bag. Yeah, I'm not hating on too much.
We have Michael Parsons just tweeted. Shout out to you, Perk. Sent me DeMarcus Lawrence had just tweeted Dallas. He was in an interview, and because DeMarcus Lawrence is now
Seattle.
He said Dallas. He said Dallas is my home, but I know for sure I'm not gonna win a Super Bowl there.
Ooh.
And then Michael Parsons says that was rejection, and this is what rejection and envy looks like. This is some clown shit.
Rejection. He was there for a while. I don't think he got rejected.
He was there before you.
I don't know about that one.
Michael Parsons is a bitter ass football player. Bro, did you hear what he said about the Niners yesterday?
Yes.
He was like, so they lost all their players and they're retooling. He's like, this is what happens when you don't have to put quarterback is on a rookie deal. Bro, they spanked y'all several times, and then all of a sudden you think it's fine to say something like that. Get out.
He comes out of pocket sometimes, and you're not ready for it. And you're just like, whoa. What did you just say? What did he just say on a Tuesday?
And then he tweets, oh, it's my turn. Brother, you still ain't even got a contract. So I don't know. Well, I don't know when your turn is going to happen.
But this not that I care about what's going on with the Cowboys, but it speaks to the locker room.
Yes,
which is nice.
Immature, bro.
Which is nice. Which is nice.
Yeah.
Just speaking a little. I mean, Joshua Uche. He spent some time with the Patriots. I mean, he was with the Ravens first, right? And then he went to the Patriots that year. He put up some numbers. I think the Eagles had a great opportunity to see what he was all about. Remember they had that joint practice. He had 2022, his best season. He had 11.5 sacks with the Patriots. And then he got traded to the Chiefs in 2024, but he didn't really play much. He played just 87 defensive snaps in the regular season after the trade, 50 of which came in the regular season finale. But he did not play for the Chiefs in in the postseason, and he was inactive for the Super Bowl. So, thank God for him. He didn't have to be play and get his ass whooped against the Eagles. But it's he did in 2023 in the season opener versus the Patriots. He did get a sack on Jalen Hurts. So I'm am I excited about Uche? Uche is a move that a lot of Eagle fans were calling for potentially when if he might be available for trade. So Uche was on a lot of Eagle fans' radar over the last couple of years. A lot of people in this chat. Kelly says it's a low risk, high reward possibility with Uche. Brian Pumper says Uche, low budget Bryce Huff. And again, we're talking about defensive.
He's a Timu. Bryce Huff. Damn, son.
But we're talking about a defensive line heavy draft in the first 2 rounds. Go get your edge. Go get your edge. Don't play around. Don't play around. Go get your edge. Go get your DT. Whatever you need to do. Whatever you need to feel right about. Go on. Just go back. Don't even like flinch.
I feel like Uche is he has a similar build as Nolan Smith. Fast, have his little power move he does. You know what I mean? There's a clip running around right now where he got Lane. He caught Lane off guard and disrupt the pass for Jalen, and everybody's playing that out. But I mean, I think he's a solid pickup. I feel like he's gonna be one of those guys. Like I'm not gonna say he's like going like a Zach Bond, but I think he's gonna he's gonna be able to contribute.
He's gonna have an impact. 100%.
I think so.
He's gonna get 20 snaps a game. He's gonna be a good pop in when guys need a breather. You know what I mean? Your starters need a breather, but you don't want to lose too much of a step. You want to make sure you're still putting pressure. I think he has 1 or 2 moves that I think could be viable.
Brian says undersized one-hit wonder edge rusher who can't play run defense. Sound familiar?
That's Bryce Huff.
So there is one off Eagle signing that you guys, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I think is a huge move for the organization. Taylor Heineke signed with the Chargers. I love that for Herbert. I think that is a huge.
Taylor Heineke signed with the Chargers?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's huge for them. And I don't want to go too deep into it, but personal preference, I think Herbert's been lacking that guy in the QB room. So, I mean, I'm not a Herbert lover or like piping him up. I feel like that he's been missing that piece. So just throwing that out there. If Herbert has a stronger year, you know what I mean? I think Heineke could have a big piece to do with that. Okay. Just throwing that out there.
All right.
Yeah, quarterback Guru 10.
Heineke was good. He was smart. He's a smart quarterback. Heineke's a smart quarterback.
Talk about smart. You'd be smart if you actually went and downloaded the app Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Jawn to get up to $1,000 bonus cash and a free pick. UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. I think it's time. I think it's time for you to do so. I mean, it's only right. We're not asking for much. It's basketball season. Make sure you go out there and do the Lord's work. I know Tim, you've been pretty successful with the app, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it happens to be in Arizona where you can do the Lord's work out there. Obviously,
yep. Shout out Underdog.
Shout out to Underdog. I mean, it's basketball season. It's not football season. I know we do miss basketball season. It's a time where March Madness is around here. You guys ready for
can't wait.
March Madness? Are you a big basketball guy during March Madness?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I never got to the big dance. Played in the NIT though, but I never got to the big dance. But Cooper Flag, damn dog. Come on, man. Heal up, son. Because I need you to go to the Sixers, man. I need you to do your thing, man. Let's go. I don't even like Duke.
Anyway,
but do your thing, B.
Anyway, this is basketball season when your favorite stars score buckets. We're alley-ooping you on an opportunity to win money from watching sports with Underdog. Underdog is one of the leading sports apps, and you can play now in your state. To play whether, to play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats, points, assists, rebounds, and more. I mean, there's millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. All you got to do, is download the Underdog app, sign up now using the promo code Jawn to unlock a special offer up to $1,000 bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up and use the promo code Jawn. You must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-9-NEXT-STEP or text next step to 53342. In New York, call 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. And when in Arizona, call Tim and ask him for size 12.5 or 13 in Jordans if you run out of shoes.
And I do got some popular picks for you, so stay tuned. So Steph Curry, 26.5, higher. DeMar DeRozan, 22.5, higher.
I still watching basketball.
Green, lower. Okay, those are the picks. Y'all go ahead and do those TK picks for the basketball man right here. I got you. Say less. Underdog.
Shout out to Kelly. He said I would have rather tried to get Samuel or Jackson.
That's what I said.
Asante Samuel don't tackle.
You can work with that with Vic. Vic ain't gonna play that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you look at Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean tackle, and like those guys, it's like we're gonna make the tackle. We're not gonna have any issues here.
For sure. Do you think with Samuel's is his size too? I mean, he's only I think they lie. I think he's only like 5'9", 5'10", 5'11" on a good day. He does lack in size.
Staying on his tippy toes.
He's five. He's what, 5'10"? Yeah,
he's like 5'10". So because Christian, he likes his DBs at least over 6 foot.
That last comment you had up there, I don't think that's a bold take. The Jalen Hicks, Jalen Huff. I don't think that's a crazy take with him getting more reps this year. I don't think that's outlandish for him to have a Sweat has moved on to Arizona. BG.
Yeah. I do have a question for you guys though. Would you? I don't know. I guess this is kind of hypothetical. I guess with the Bryce Huff situation, right? And he doesn't fit this system. I mean, we all know that, right? He doesn't fit this system. How do you feel, Gil?
I just think, I think he's going to get more opportunities to figure it out.
Right. But he has to want to figure this out. And if he does not figure this out, he is going to be, I think he's going to be one of those guys. He might get treated like a James Bradbury. I mean, he was inactive for the Super Bowl, one of the biggest games, the only game on a Sunday everybody's watching.
It's a sad scene, man. Imagine making all that money.
17 mil, bro.
And you got to be like, I mean, I just think, like you go home like coughing like millions out. You're like, I'm just gonna sit on this. I'm just gonna sit here.
But to the point Kincaid's making is, we just brought in a guard who was drafted and a high, who's also making millions of dollars, whose press conference, to your point, sounded dramatically different than the press conferences I've seen with Bryce Huff, who was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl. Like he was a healthy. Like I love the fire out of this left guard. Is he going to pan out? We don't know. We got to see what happens. But the fact, to Tim's point, is when you hear them speak, the fire, the burn, like something they want to do something. I've seen 2 or 3. He avoids a lot of interviews, but I've seen 2 or 3 Bryce Huff interviews where he's just. I feel like he's going through the motions. To your point, like I got paid.
Yeah.
I'm just going through my day.
I just want to let you know his dead cap hit is 29.6
Good Lord.
mil. So
he's going to be here for a
Good
couple
Lord.
of years.
you know,
Sticking around for a little
does
while.
anybody want? I mean, his cap hit for this season is 7.5.
17. Yeah.
So that's it's.
But
you know,
but that's the thing though, man. Like you're paying somebody that just. How can I say it not without being so disrespectful? Okay, perfect example. When Vic Fangio was asked about Bryce and this is one thing I want people to watch out. Like, if when you see Vic Fangio, when you see him in the press conference, please pay attention to him because he is honest, truthful. He is like the new school of Jimmy Johnson. Okay, like he's like, yeah, I don't think he can do that. What about the running game? Yeah, we got to get him to there. I don't think he can do that. Like he was giving us answers to the test. Like he knew that Bryce Huff wasn't what he is, what he was come here to do. You know what I mean? Like, no, not trying to be disrespectful, but it's just like, damn, dog. Like, how can you fix this? How can you like make him? How can you get somebody like that to motivate or to get a motor or something? There's something you got to contribute something. You know what I'm saying?
Like he might be a light version of a jack of all trades, but he should be going to it. What can I be the best at? What is my move? What can I iron down? And what can I make myself? So, hey, this is all I can do right now. But when I contribute, this is what's coming at you. Like, boom, no arguments. But I do those.
I know he likes to put his hand in the ground, but it's just I don't know, man. I can't put my finger on this, man.
Hey,
I can't.
He got all off season to figure it out. But
he got a ring too.
Speaking of edges, Kelly asked any possibility of James Pierce following us. Now, if you
No.
James Pierce is Tennessee. I mean, did you see the red flags that people? So there's an anonymous AFC director of player personnel that said Pierce's character is indeed a reason why his squad in particular may not even consider selecting him, no matter how much he falls. The character concerns are why James Pierce Jr. is falling down some draft boards. He's in danger of getting dropped off our board, the director of player personnel said. Granted, we are a strict team in terms of character, but we have a lot of concerns, and I think he probably isn't a fit for us. So I mean, a lot of people were just like asking, like, what was that all about?
I wonder if you bring up his track record, like what has he done? Because this happens at times where people like to bring up, other teams or other GMs or scouts,
other
whatever
agents,
they bring.
Other agents,
They bring up stuff because they exactly. So I just want to see that. I hate when they do this to young men like this.
Well, Jeremiah, a lot of times Daniel Jeremiah,
mm-hmm.
like he's, I believe in a lot of his mock drafts are based on what he's hearing. So he in his last mock draft he has Pierce out of the first round.
Wow.
So we said we'll see what happens with. He said we'll see what happens with Pierce. Teams get a chance to visit with him and see how they are with him, but he's somebody that's definitely a dynamic talent.
I don't know, man. I mean, Jalen Carter went through the same thing. Michael Parsons went through the same thing. I don't know.
It was the same thing. Jalen Carter
Dropped. He did drop.
He's still in the first round, though.
No, but I'm saying like
here's the 32.
Jalen Carter lost like probably what $10 million.
Mm-hmm. But still the first round. That's you're saying like Jeremiah dropped him off at the first round. That's
but I'm saying like Jalen Carter dropping just even like 4 spots. Like, bro, Jalen Carter is about to be the highest paid defensive like And I mean, it's great for us. It's great for us. We figured
Yeah.
it out. We figured out.
If James Pierce falls to us at 32, that would be
sign me up.
I will take.
I mean,
yes,
we have the best when it comes to personnel and the staffing, and keeping things in check with Big Dom. I think we can bring him in. We'll be fine.
He's 6'5", 245, and runs a 4.47.
Yeah, he's athletic.
And this is what I'm saying. Like when players do just enough to drop to us, we're at a point in place that we'll take an opportunity.
For sure.
Because like you said, that was brought up in the past. I didn't see that. So what, in the past week? It was over this past week because he was much higher.
Williams. They've been talking crazy about Williams too, Michael Williams too.
I mean, in the Adam Schefter was going on pods and saying how many picks that the Eagles had, like 20, and then
I saw that.
I mean, just the Eagles are not going to use all those picks. Those are those are pieces where you can move up and down the board. So I think that in that scenario, if you can get a player like that, it's trench warfare, dude, and it's not rocket science they need it anymore. If everyone's following Howie's game plan, we build in the trenches. We have some really high character guys that we bring in, and then we get after the quarterback. I mean, there's really and then we're tough in the trenches on offense and defense. So like when people are like, "Oh, what are you going to do in the draft?" What do you think we're going to do in the draft? First couple rounds.
That's all. I'm just going to step in. Tennessee defensive lineman James Pierce Jr. received a new 2025 draft projection following the Vols Pro Day. USA Today projects the former Vol to Philadelphia with a number 32 overall pick in the first round.
There you go. I like that.
Quick question. Are you going to the draft, B?
I think I want to, yeah. Do you want to go to the draft? Prime said
in Green Bay, B. I want to go to Green
Bay. It's a historic football town.
Yeah, I want to go to the game. I guess I would be down. I wonder if it was cold.
Can you go represent as an Eagle fan? Is that okay? Yeah. We're like, I didn't want to go to the draft, and like I was going to go to the draft in Detroit, but why did I not go to Detroit? I didn't really want to get ridiculed.
By
Chiefs fans because I probably would have snuck someone. So I was in my field. So I was like,
it would be nice to go. It would be nice. Like
your Super Bowl, your Super Bowl merch, you're like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. What's
going on here?
I'm sorry.
I mean, the only big thing is we don't know when the Packers game is happening this year, it's on my bucket list because if it was happening in Green Bay in October, I might be buying a ticket. But if you can guarantee you're going to visit Lambeau Field in April when it's not as bad, I don't know. I just want to see Lambeau Field. I just think that's cool.
WG
I heard they still got bleachers, B. That's wild.
They do with the numbers on the seats.
That's wild, son. It's 2025, son.
Get
high school.
Get your back brace, okay?
Yeah,
Bill's had the same thing.
One of them chairs.
Bill's had the same thing.
Word? Y'all bugging. Come on, man. Give me a chair, B.
But both of them are because of the shoveling. That's why they keep them.
But WG asks, who do y'all think we play week 1?
Detroit.
You think so?
Yeah, because that's what everybody wants.
What was supposed to be the NFC Championship last year?
Yeah, or they might do the rematch. It might be a rematch. But we go to Kansas City, though, right? We don't play Kansas City in Philly. I think Detroit comes to us.
I think we go back to KC.
Oh, yeah. Then it'll be Detroit. It'll be Detroit. Or LA. LA would be a yeah. I hope it's not the Bears.
Peasy says Detroit. Atlanta says LA.
Week 1, I'll be there. Don't worry.
Other question from Kelly Wilson. He says, shout out to Kelly Wilson, by the way. Met him down in Dallas. Too bad we caught it L. But talking about any other free agents that you're interested that are still available. Name a
I
name a, name a position. I'll tell you who's out there.
Okay. Linebacker. I will go with Thomas. Thompson.
Oh,
Is it
okay.
Thompson or Thomas? I like him.
Zach Thompson.
Zach Tom. Yeah.
You want me
Shaq,
to
I
read
don't
off
know,
some
bro.
other linebackers?
That's all I really want from that
Well,
list. I'm good.
Eric Kendricks is out there. Jerome Baker, Devondre Campbell. CJ Mosley.
Bro, he's third. No. He's 32, man.
And Tybo Glass.
Nah, man. He ain't. Hey, listen, man. We ain't getting no young.
Hey,
we
Devin
do
White's
number
out
young
there.
bulls.
Devin White's out
I'm
there.
good. I'm good. I'm good.
Devin White got to feel. I mean, you got to feel
sick.
stupid as hell, man.
Oh, sick. He got to be sick. Him and Hassan. Sick.
Hey, Kaiser White is out there.
No, don't make me.
Kaiser Soze.
Hassan's out there.
No, he just signed with the Bucks. He signed with the Bucks.
Oh, did he? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he signed with the Bucks.
Come on. 1 year, 14 mil.
Mr. I want 23. Did that work out? No.
Not so much.
You want the Commanders. Left hand up.
Mercer says, I want to go to the Chiefs, but I feel the vibes are going to be aggressive.
You've gone to an Eagles game.
No, when we went out there, these fans were super nice until we beat that ass. And walking out of the stadium, I was getting, they were like, talking shit. I'm like, I was like, what happened to all that nice shit in the beginning of that? They do. They're tailgate professionals out there, though.
What, just be jumping off buses and hitting, smacking in the table, son?
They have like tent cities out there. Like everybody has a tent. It looks the way that they tailgate.
Was it mad cold though?
It was.
Because y'all went in like
I had to buy a coat. I had to buy a coat the day of.
Buffalo. We're in Buffalo this year.
See, I feel like they're gonna do us dirty. I feel like they're gonna do us dirty. They're gonna be like, yo, we're gonna make it a dramatic scene, so we'll be in December or November. It's gonna be mad cold.
I asked Tim, what's wrong with Kaiser?
What's up?
What's wrong with Kaiser?
Man, I'm good. I live out. You gotta remember, sis. I live out in Arizona, so I see his games where he has poor angle tackling. Oh my goodness, always out of position. Always.
Hey,
let's go to Buffalo.
Calais Campbell's still out there. Played in Fangio's defense.
Oh, we got the LeBron. We got the 40-year-old.
Also sounds like Cookie Monster.
Sound like the Cookie. What would I be without you?
1 down, 2 down, 3 down.
Boss, I'm tired. Let's see. And some interior guys out there. Contavious Street is out there.
Contavious Street is out there. Yeah, bring him back.
Former Eagle.
Yeah.
It's funny when you look at these lists and you're like, it's like, it's like going shopping. You're like, what I want? What I want here?
Tackle.
You want to hear what guards are out there just for shits and giggles? Will Hernandez, Matt Pryor.
Will Hernandez from Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona. Tevin Jenkins, Brandon Scherf.
That one is that is surprising because I thought he would definitely go back to the left hand up. We are the Commanders.
And again, some of these players could have been as a couple hours ago. Dalton Risner's out there. Shaq Mason. Nate Herbig.
No, I'm good.
No, well, I'm saying how Eagles do.
Yeah.
Players. How many times?
Bring that old thing back.
But there was a player released today that for center depth. He was Danny Andrews out of New England. At his age,
hey, I'll tell you another one. I'll tell you another one that people want to bring back, and I've been seeing it all everywhere. About Sanders. was released from the Carolina Panthers, and I heard they want to bring that old thing back, like Jordan Matthews, that booty call.
Well, now that you got
Saquon.
AJ Dillon, Sanders thing is over, no?
I mean, nothing wrong with having depth, right?
How are we going to draft a running back if we have 4 on the roster?
We want to draft a running back.
I just want to let you know that Sua Opeta is still out there. These are two linemen that Stoutland has.
I bet. How much want to bet one of them was going to get re-signed? You bring one of them back.
Jack Driscoll's also out there.
Oh, never mind. He's coming back. Yeah, that's the booty call right there. He coming back.
Yep.
He bringing that whole thing back.
100%.
I mean,
he's already
bring that dude.
He's already knocking. Hey,
boy, you thick.
So, which Scatterboo.
Scatterboo is a baller, bro. That dude is a baller, man. One thing I will say that I think I wouldn't say he's too small, but he's like a little bowling ball, bro. I mean, this dude can ball,
like
man.
A Michael Turner type. He's like a Michael Turner type back in the day. Like,
you know who he reminds? Yeah, like a Michael Turner, and then Shannon. Is it Shannon Anderson? Anderson, remember where he was a little bowling ball for the Rams?
For the Rams,
they beat the Cowboys. Yeah, that's what.
And then who was the Panthers running back? Same idea. Or was that Turner too? No, it was you probably could compare him to a Maurice Drew. MJD, yeah, Maurice Jones.
Yeah, MJD, yeah.
I just want to let you know that Andre Diller's out there.
Sign him up.
No.
Fred Johnson is out there.
Hey, give me a promise mask back too. Andre
Wait,
Dillard.
Fred Johnson. Yeah. Fred Johnson from last year?
Yeah, he's out there on the streets now.
They didn't bring him back.
Oh. Yeah. He's a unrestricted free agent.
He filled in for 6 games for Mailata. How can we not bring him back?
LaRaven Clark is out there.
Nah.
These are all. I'm just saying as
what? Man, these are all backups, huh?
These are all Stoutland guys.
Yeah.
Brian Pumper, I'm not ignoring your comment. I'm with you. UCF.
RJ Harvey. Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
UCF.
Let's go, baby.
We shot an interview with him. I sent it to Tim the other day. Very good dude, man. He was this is
Mike Anthony here with RJ Harvey. First off, easiest question. How's this week going for you so far? Yeah, it's been a fantastic experience.
I mean, one of these days I'll share some of the stuff. This is all for personal knowledge.
You need to post that stuff, man. This dude got so much great content.
I tell him all the time.
Like, hey man, I got it.
The only time he posts this, it was when I was there. Dude, that's cool. We're going back. We're going back next year.
I get text all the time with like Prime. He's like, check this out. It's a Prime interview. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
This is for the knowledge.
I love the knowledge, but every now and then.
This is why people tune in.
Oh, my draft, not yet.
couple weeks. Then flood it. Boom.
Not yet.
Yeah, we know Rick Lovato.
I need Primo here.
Rick Lovato definitely coming back, so we good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
We got to get Rick Lovato.
Probably one of the most beloved Eagles we have right now, realistically. Like for real Eagles fans who know who he is. Like,
yeah,
I don't think he can do any wrong. He's never said anything negative. He's never been in the press.
I used to work with his babysitter. She used to babysit him. Yeah, Colleen. She's I'm sorry, Amanda. Shout out to Amanda. Yeah, she used to babysit Rick Lovato and his sister, and she used to tell me some crazy stuff while he was doing it as a kid. Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna have to tell those when next time we get him back on the show. Also, Devontae Smith's softball game is going to be announced soon. They just reached out yesterday. They said,
nice.
So I'm like, we need access, guys, please. But we're pumping up the softball game. No one asked us to do it, but we're gonna go to that softball game again this year. Probably one of the best things in the off season to go to. Usually up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. This is home of Saquon, who just got the key to the city.
Yeah, buddy.
That's super dope.
Had a dope Nike sweater. I was like, yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we here. We here with
Okay.
that. I actually thought about you when I seen that. I said, "Ooh, I know Gail's saying that."
I looked it up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lena. She'll also be joining us for the Eagles Autism Challenge.
Hey,
Need a
shout
link.
out,
I was
sis.
just gonna say, I need a link.
Also said he's going to join us on that as well. So if you guys want to walk with us for the Eagles Autism Challenge, I'm putting together a team page for 4th and Jawn. So if you want to join us on that, we appreciate you came out there and did that. Shout out to Burmy, reaches out, says how he ain't making those big splash deals this offseason, 1-year deals only for veterans. Investing in the draft, agree or not? Shout out to Omar.
I don't know if you're right yet. I really don't, because it almost feels like he's teasing us because he's releasing individuals and he's building up this little bit of pocket full of cash.
Oh, what's up, Vic?
Do you guys think he's gonna go for?
It's got to be one. I'm expecting one move. Shout out to Victor Williams. He says, "Sup, mates? Welcome to Moro Ojomo season." And if you didn't see, he got his own card. Jordan Spector got a nice little card. So the glow up for Moro Ojomo is real.
Is he the new Nigerian nightmare?
Bro, he got honored over in Africa.
Yeah, that's super dope.
Man got his own money. Some people
that boy good. That boy good.
Some of y'all real ones know. Man got his own money.
Yes. F you.
So
Helena asks, is Hendrickson still available? No.
He is, but he's
man, yo, okay. You know what grinds my gears about the Cincinnati Bengals? Y'all gotta be the most toxic, most disrespectful organization I've ever seen in my life. Man, give Jamar Chase his money. Give T. Higgins his money. Come on, man. And then y'all want to sit here and say, "Oh, you're gonna trade T. Higgins?" Bro, you ain't trading him. You over here talking about, "Oh yeah, we're gonna trade him." But yeah, we want a first. Ain't nobody giving you a first for a 32-year-old defensive end. You better give us the program. You gonna take a date. You gonna take a 3rd-round pick and call it a day.
35 sacks in 2 years, though. 35 sacks in 2 years.
You're not giving up a 1st-round pick, B.
I know that.
Hey,
I think Kincaid's giving his say with his chest a little early.
Yeah, that didn't say on my chest. I can't stand the Bengals, man. I can't.
No,
pay your players, B.
That franchise tag for T. Higgins over and over again is getting old. Like, just pay the guy. Like, come on. Like,
Victor chimes in. The big splash will likely be safety, from what I've gathered. Either going to be a trade, perhaps Justin Simmons, Malachi Starks. The draft won't just be Reed and friends next year. I really do think. I mean, the Justin Simmons thing just makes too much sense. I mean, I just think after last year didn't come. I mean, it's a perfect opportunity. They know what they can get from you. I mean, Christian Parker knows what he brings to the table. Yeah. So, Brian Pumper says Trey Hendrickson not dropping in coverage. He's not a fit.
Man, that boy can sack the quarterback.
Hey, shout out to Mark Bird for always donating to our links out there for the Eagles Autism event. So you guys got to come out, man. It's going to be a good time.
I'm donating.
But before we get out of here, just want to give a big shout out to all you guys in the chat for stopping through per usual. But shout out to Bud Light for holding us down all tailgate season long. Shout out to Red Bull for giving the tailgate wings. Savelli's Pizza, for giving Evan Hollywood Hearns cheesesteaks the wings. Yeah, I said wings. Also shout out to 1675 Spirits, honorary tailgate captain, Conscious Italian Bakery. Also shout out to Lowski Entertainment. If you need a DJ, if you need a guy to turn the party up a couple notches, Lowski's your dude. Shout out to Crafty Jawn for the chunky chains, craftyjawn.com. Shout out to Jesse Wines. You can find him at Wines Creative on Instagram.
You almost said underscore. You almost threw the underscore in there.
I almost did, man.
Yeah.
Poor guy, dude. I was talking to him the other day, man. That's
that Red Bull and vodka.
Yeah, Victor says the Red Bull vodka was a hit during the season. Yeah, man. Those people were, they try to go, and the Red Bull. Someone was bringing the Fireball. Fireball was also
a little keg, a mini keg.
A little too much.
Was it the Fireball or was it the individual with the Fireball? Because he just kept making his rounds and just kept going. You need another one. You need another. You were just here 30 seconds.
Hey, that's why Prime forgot he forgot there was a football game.
Yeah, shout out to Prime, shout out to Evan Hollywood Hearn. Obviously it's football free agency frenzy. We're doing like a lot of random podcasts. Shout out to the Tims, Tim Cade, Tim Armstrong, and Eagles Timberland. That would be me. Because people keep saying you look like Timberland. Okay. Am I getting that fat? Do I need to go on a diet?
He's like, breathe in, breathe out.
But let's go say with chest and then last word. Say with chest. We'll go with you, Tim.
Which one? My bad.
Me? Tim.
On a serious note, man, I just lost a good friend of mine, Anthony Loya. Go miss you, buddy. It sucks, man. He's about to be a father here soon. Passed away yesterday. We got the news this morning. Sucks, man. I'm gonna have his GoFundMe account on my profile. So I want to say prayers to him and his condolences to his family. Also want to say happy birthday to Primo's princess, and hug your loved ones, man, and check on your peoples. And I say this because I grew up with Ant, man. I remember when I first moved to Arizona, he was like one of the like cool people that I used to hang out with. I played on this basketball team called Arizona Razorbacks, and I didn't know nobody. And he just doing a layup, he said I was super athletic, and he like warmed up, and we warmed up to each other, and like just had that connection, man. So, and I know life goes on. Like I'm about to be 40 in a month or so, and just check on your peoples. I know time and life goes so fast, but check on your people. Most definitely, no doubt.
Respect to him and his family, man. Appreciate you saying that. Tim Armstrong, say it with your chest. Anything. It doesn't have to be football related. Something you need to get off your chest.
So it's about this weekend coming up. I'm about as Irish as you get. And I would love everybody to indulge and be Irish this weekend. But please be safe. There is an app called Uber. There is an app called Lyft. There is a lot of ways where you can get home safely. You can have a loved one take care of you. Everybody likes to indulge this weekend. Some people think they can handle things, and then things go south. Do not get behind the wheel of your vehicle. Play it safe this St. Patrick's Day weekend for anybody that it plans on indulging.
Oh, snap. It's green beer.
Yes, sir.
Snap, son.
All weekend. I'm going to be indulging a lot, but guess what? Uber is my best friend. So I just want to make sure everybody stays safe. And that's a big piece for me. I'll be in the Bucks County Parade on Saturday, and I will send you pictures of my
there you go
enjoying myself on the back of a big old truck.
You're gonna be all leprechaun out with a red face.
Yes, sir. That's every day. That's every day. Just some extra green.
One last question from Victor. He says, "Apology if I missed this earlier, but real quick before y'all get off, how do y'all feel about the CJ trade?" Certainly didn't see it coming from my end. I think when CJ, I mean, the word that we were getting was that he wanted more money, and the fact that Saquon got paid a little bit earlier. And I don't know how. I don't want to say all the vets or some particular folks in the locker room. I know Helena had shared some of the stuff that she heard, but the fact that him wanting more money, I think Howie was like, all right, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to get more money with another team, and it's just that when you start looking about he's been with the Eagles twice. He's been with the Saints, the Lions,
different
the
teams every
Texans,
year.
us twice, and I don't, like again, he's been like I've always said he's been one of my favorite players coming out of the draft. When he fell, I had him as a top talent in the draft. The fact that he fell to like what, the 5th round. Did you think
Yeah.
he fell? Did you think he fell to that for a reason? Because the talent was there.
Yeah, right.
So if the league feels a certain way about CJ in a certain, I mean, the fact that we love crazy in Philly. I love crazy on my football team. Not everybody got to be a choir boy, but the fact that he bought a house in Philly, he wanted to be here.
Yeah.
The fact that they
I
stole his
think
car in Philly.
I think for the most part, the reason why he bought a house though, and all that stuff, I think Gilly had a lot to do with that.
The young
But
guy,
yeah, I
the
think
young guy. You go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry.
he definitely wanted to be here. He's definitely gonna be missed, man. His presence, the dog mentality, that attitude, that swagger that he brought. I mean, it goes through my head. I wish we never let him go out of the door the first time when the Niners came. The Niners came to Philadelphia and they pumped the shit out of James Bradbury, and we all knew if he would have done that, the first person would have been there. It would have been CJGJ. He would have been there, and then he would have brought that swagger, that meanness, that toughness. But it's up for grabs now, and I the next person I think that's going to do that, I feel like it could be Sidney Brown. I feel like Sidney Brown can be that next guy that bring that dog mentality. You know what I mean? But he'll definitely be missed without a doubt. Like he told
Yeah,
you himself. I talk a lot of shit, but I'm glad you boys got my back.
yeah, he's definitely going to be missed from the team aspect. The only thing that kind of brought me a little bit of peace with the situation was watching his reaction to how he felt the phone call went. So that tells me that there was parties on 2 different spots, and they both realized like this is the best situation for both of us, because he wasn't upset, animosity, no aggravation. He said it when he was on his Twitch stream. He said, no, it was a great conversation. I respect everything that was said, and I appreciate the way they said it. And that just means at this point he was ready to move on. But for a guy that got drafted in 2019, and this is his 5th stint with the team, and I'm including going and coming back to the Eagles, I hope for the best. I hope that there's nothing that causes the guy any problems. I hope there's no situations that he has. Because he's a great athlete. Seems like he's a great locker room guy. I wish him nothing the best, but it definitely was rough losing him. But at this point, if it was mutual on both sides, I think it's the best time to part ways.
I mean, that was an April Fool's joke.
His graphic was like, the way that he placed the commas, like, yo, whoever helped you write that, you're like beautifully written. Because I was like, I felt that one, and again, I will always appreciate his energy, and when he spoke at the end of that team meeting, just in general, he didn't need to say much, but the energy, you felt the energy. I know his teammates probably felt the energy. I feel like, I felt like he felt he felt received by the Eagle fans this season, and I feel like every home game, in between every timeout, him on the sidelines, it was just great to see him like bring that energy. Like he'd be dancing to a random song, he's all geeked up. He just brought that energy, and I wish him nothing but the best moving forward. So,
what was your best moment for CJGJ? What was your best moment?
I mean, there's just been a lot of great moments. I really don't have. I just have a lot of great memories of him just bringing the energy. That's what I remember. Just
Super Bowl.
like
felt it. I love that.
And I mean, my memory isn't even on the field, because I was watching a Philadelphia Eagles behind the scenes quick short, and you could see that the room was kind of lethargic. Like everybody didn't know how to answer the question. And then all of a sudden, somebody just goes, "Hey, it's CJ." And all of a sudden they turned to him. The whole room lit up. Like he came over, hyped, energy, everything like that. And it's like you see why that translates onto the field. He just he just feeds off that energy and he gives it to everybody else. So it is going to be rough seeing him leave, and it's not fun. But sometimes this is. I mean, we got to work with what we got.
Yeah.
Mark Bird says Quinyon Saunders is going to bring that dog back. I just want to say he didn't ask his father about the tattoos.
You're not my dad.
The tattoos that he got. Because I was like, that's a lot of. I know you got money, son.
Yo, I put that in the group chat. I said, Gil ain't gonna
You're
be
not
happy
my
with his
dad.
son. You're not my dad. Hey, you get home whooping that ass.
Yeah.
All that damn tattoos. What's wrong with you, boy?
Yeah. I mean, we're all getting ready for the Jalen Carter pay raise. It's gonna happen. It's well deserved. You can't be mad at players being great. So the fact that he dropped to us still, if you go back and watch our videos of the moment we drafted him, that was a beautiful time. But before we get out, I just want to thank you guys again for sticking around. Obviously, this is impromptu podcast during free agency frenzy. Shout out to Prime. Shout out to Tim, the Tims. Shout out to Eagles Timberland. Shout out to Evan Hollywood Hearn.
I just want to say one thing before we head out. Apparently, while we've been on this podcast, people have been missing an awesome Twitter debate between Mr. Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, and it has been going on for a minute, and they are firing back and forth. They're going back.
Well, here's the one from Lawrence to Micah. He said,
22 minutes. Calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left. Boom! Dude, it's getting interesting over there. Everybody, check out your Twitter feeds. Enjoy.
Kelly says, what about Marcus Williams still being available? I've heard a lot of people looking for him as well. Helena has a last word. She says, shout out to my son, turned 17.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Cooper DeJean's twin.
Looks like Cooper DeJean. Saying.
Jawn. We got the Jawn version.
But
the Puerto Rican version.
But last word before we get out of here, Tim Armstrong.
As always, I appreciate hopping on here. I appreciate everybody in the comments because it gives everybody conversations to feed off of and talk about topics. And thank you, gentlemen, for having me on as always. And go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds. Tim, last word.
Man, y'all know what it is, man. Good vibes, laughable times. Let's go Birds. And Howie ain't done, man. You know what I'm saying? He's still cooking. So let that man cook. You know what I'm saying? 3 NFC championships, 3 Super Bowl appearances in 8 years, 2-1. He's doing something right. Let him cook.
Yeah, let him cook. Following off of Tim's last word, I just believe in Howie. Obviously, if you look anywhere in your man cave, you now have 2 Super Bowls. Okay? If you're an old head like me, you have 2 Super Bowls, and you're like, I'm good. You got me one. I want another one. But just I'm gonna sit here and believe in what Howie does. I think it's gonna be it's a game of patience. I've been sitting on my couch for the last 3 days looking at my phone. My screen time is up by 1 trillion. So I mean, it's Howie season. It's off season. I love it. This is the perfect time for me in my life. This is what I do. It's what I love. And as always, it's fly, Eagles fly, and we'll see you guys in the next one.